Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve systems equations by graphing. So I have two examples here. I have your first example where both equations are already in slope-intercept form, and then the second example shows how to get the equations into slope-intercept form and then graph them. So let's go ahead and start with our first problem. So when you're solving systems of equations, you're trying to find an ordered pair. So we're trying to figure out where these two lines intersect. So let's go ahead and start with this first one. I'm going to do this one in purple. You always start with your y-intercept, which is -4. So plot your y-intercept on the y-axis. And then use the slope in front of the x to get your next point. So my slope is 2, and there's an invisible 1 underneath. So we're going to use rise over run. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, over 1, up 2, over 1, up 2, over 1. So I'm doing that to span the whole graph. The more points you do on the graph, the more accurate your intersection will be. Let's do the second one. I'm going to start with my y-intercept at 3. And then my slope is 1 over 4. So I'm going to use rise over run. So I'm going to rise 1 and run 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I've hit an intersection. If you need to go the opposite way, just remember that +1 over +4 is the same as -1 over -4. So you can always go the opposite way too. So down 1 over -4. And see, both those points are on the same line. So our answer is where the two lines intersect. So let's see. It's always x comma y as your answer. So on my x-axis, I went 4. And on my y-axis, I went 4. So my answer to number 1 is 4, 4. Now in the second example, y is not alone. So you could either solve this and get y alone, which is what I'm going to do, or you can graph using standard form. There's many ways to do this. So I'm going to start with our first one. I'm going to move over here. And let's solve for y. So we want to get y alone. It's the same process every time. You move the x over first. It's a +1x, so I'm going to do the opposite and subtract it. So those go away. So I'm left with -4y equals, you're going to put the x term first so that it's in y equals mx plus b. We want that x term first. -4. Remember, -4 minus 1x, it's not -5. Okay, this has an x and this doesn't, so you can't combine them. So you have to just leave them sitting out like that. Now let's get rid of this -4 in front of y. It's being multiplied, so to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide every term by -4. So those are gone. So y equals 2 negatives make a positive, so this becomes +1/4 x. And -4 divided by -4 is +1. Now let's get y alone on our second problem. Same process. Move over the x. It's a +5x, so I'm going to subtract it. So those go away. -4y equals -5x. And that 12 is a positive. So we're going to say +12. If it was a -12, it would have a minus sign in front of it. Let's get rid of this -4. It's being multiplied. So divide everything by -4. And let's simplify. 2 negatives make a positive, so 5/4 is just 5/4. Remember, you never want the number in front of x to be a decimal because that's not going to help you graph. You want it to be a fraction. 12 divided by -4 is 3. And now we can graph these like we did above. So I'm going to start with the blue one. Start at positive 1. And then 1 over 4, remember we're doing rise over run. So up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go the other way. Let's go down 1 over negative 4. So I'm left with this line. And remember, I'm just doing more points to span the graph because that will get you the most accurate answer. Now let's graph the second one. I'm going to start at negative 3. And then I'm going to rise 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And run 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like we're hitting this point right here. So let's write our answer. We went 4 on the x-axis, and we jumped 2 on the y-axis. So 4, 2 is our answer. Ideally, if you know other methods, you would probably want to do number 2 as an elimination problem, but sometimes the problem specifically asks for a graph or your teacher wants you to graph it. So just make sure you're following directions. So that is how to solve systems equations by graphing. I hope this video helps. If you liked it and want more math videos, feel free to like and subscribe. Bye!